was painting, and I was so geeked out. Now get it, I'm 19. I'm a little hyper, and just a tad hyper. And I was like, oh, Bob Ross, you're my hero, and I'm going to get all the kids in my audience ready for your show when they grow up. And he was just nodding, smiling, very chill guy. And I would run over, and with my Sharpie, I would draw like happy squirrels in his happy trees. And I know. I look back now, and I think, I cannot believe I did that. But he was so chill. The worst thing that Bob Ross ever said to me, when I could tell that think back now, I think, oh my goodness, I must have annoyed him to no end. And the worst thing he ever said to me was, Commander Mark, perhaps less coffee. Isn't it? So then I take a sip of coffee to end that story. Wonderful, wonderful guru. And the more Comic-Cons I go to, the more pictures of Bob I see on t-shirts around. So it's really sweet. A well-deserved legacy for him. Well, that was The Secret City. We aired from 1985 through, it's on YouTube now, and through about 1994, 95. In 1997, we got together the usual suspects, and we produced another series called The Imagination Station. Anybody raise your hand if you remember that? We have one, we have two, we have the camera, we have... So this one, we did 190 episodes of this show right here. 190 episodes, pretty long time. Now, if you guys are here at in this program, and if you saw one of these shows, you come down. The magic word is, let's think of a magic word. Okay, you think a magic word, and then you tell me in a few minutes. Tell me a magic word, and I'll give you a poster and I'll autograph it for you. Okay. And if you remember this show, who remembers this show? Raise your hand. Okay, you think of a magic word, tell me afterwards, and you'll get a free giant poster, and I'll sign it. That's all you want, right? A giant 3-foot poster of my face. Say yes. Say, I'm insecure. There we go. Well, I brought some posters on. I'll give you. Raise your hand again if you're an old TV fan, so I know how many. So I have about 12 of them. So yes, okay, you guys will get a poster. Well, we're going to draw today. This show right here, we actually won the Emmy. You guys want to see, look at that. Someone say, ooh la la. Oh, I just realized I drove here. I should have brought it. That is really impressive. You guys can take a picture with it. You're not supposed to let people take pictures with it, right? From the television science rules. And I've had 30,000 kids hold it, take pictures, and play football with it, and, But the reason I'm telling you that right there is, number one, to impress you so you'll like me. And the second reason is so you guys will be intrigued enough to watch it on Amazon Prime. It's on your paper in the bottom. Circle that with your snazzy pencil. Would you guys circle that? Take your pencil and circle that. All right, well, let's get going. The whole point here is to get you motivated to do one drawing a day every day, no matter what. One drawing every day, no matter what. I'll say it again. One drawing a day, every day, no matter what. I guarantee you it's going to help you with your thinking, your creativity, and it's really fun. Drawing, to me, over the years, has really proven to be the elixir of joy, and also it's a powerful healing tool. I visit children's hospitals all over the world, and when we start to draw, we see results, we see healing happening. So it's an amazing, powerful tool. Let's go to score number one right here, and let's start to draw, you guys. Someone say, yay! So let's start. You guys are cool. You're my favorite group ever. You guys are amazing. Hi, guys. Get paper and pencil. You ready to go? Okay. Well, we're waiting. You guys get settled. You want to sit right here? Oh, you got to see the TV. I get it. All right. So take your pencil, and right here, we're going to start. There's so many ways to start. Let's start with a dinosaur. Put 2 dots straight across each other. I have 1,000 drawings I want to draw with you guys. Did you guys get the note? This is a 6-hour workshop, and you can't leave. 2 dots right here. Now, we're going to draw very lightly. This is the most difficult thing for me to teach kids is to draw lightly when they start and do layer upon layer of more difficult, dark defining. The most challenging thing for me to teach kids is to draw lightly. The most challenging thing for me to teach adults is to draw anything. it's basically just to put your pencil on a paper and break through that conscious, that fear, because so many adults think no matter what, they can't draw a straight line, and you really can. It's very, if you could write your name, you can draw in 3D. If you could write your name, you can draw in 3D. Now this Comic-Con, the whole point of this is to celebrate visual pop culture, right? Cosplay and games, the digital games, the video games, the comic books, the illustrations. Everything is based around the visual arts. Put a dot up here. And so the visual arts are all rooted with, right here, a pencil. Everything you're seeing down there had to start with a sketch, a preliminary sketch by some designer, some artist, some creative. So we're going to take this foreshortened circle and pop it open. And then, now, I'm watching you guys. I'm watching. You know, we could draw, if you want, we could draw an elephant. We could draw an elephant's butt. There's so many things we can draw once we get going. We could draw dolphins. Here's my Dr. Seuss sketch. So many things. All right, let's pop this little dinosaur egg open. Pop that little guy open there. It's so cute. Now, I'm going to put some action lines here. Put some action lines. And then right here, I'm going to draw this little dinosaur's face. I'm going to make this dinosaur going out. Look at, I'm breaking out of the square. That's perfectly okay. That's perfectly acceptable. Break that dinosaur out of the square. Break it out of the square. All right, now, over this, see, right here, I went out of the square. This makes the drawing more dynamic. A lot of my students nowadays, they work on movies that you've seen. Has anybody seen this movie right here, The Brave? Anybody? Raise your hand. Okay. Well, this is an illustration I made of the Brave, the character. A lot of my students are animators with DreamWorks and Pixar. Some of my, anybody recognize this guy right here? There's Kung Fu Panda. Now, this is a mashup where I took movies, the characters that my students, my alumni. Well, I have a very flexible definition of my students. If you guys watched me on TV, you're my students, okay? And I say my viewers are my students. And they watched me and learned, and the guys who did the Despicable, the Minions, so I mashed them together. And anybody, let me see here. Some of my folks went on to work at DreamWorks and at Lucasfilm. I am your teacher. Anybody see How to Train Your Dragon? Well, it's really neat to see that this is a drawing that I taught the students and the viewers of the Secret City back in 1988 from my Dragon series. And then you'll see the influence of this in How to Train Your Dragon. Well, a lot of these artists encouraged me. We're still in touch over the years. They encouraged me. I always tend to draw right in the middle. They encouraged me to break out of the square, go beyond the line, break out like they do in comic books. Make your drawing more dynamic. Take your hand and go dynamic. So break out. See, it's okay. Go outside the square. Now right here, look, I'm going to go over. That's called overlapping. Overlapping. And then take your pencil and erase it. Very cool. Now, where's my helper folks? Helper folks, can you give this guy paper and pencil? He needs paper. Who doesn't have paper and pencil? We're going to have room delivery now. Everybody has to draw or I'll stop the whole program and start freaking out on you. So raise your hand here. We're going to bring you paper and pencil for the next drawing. I want you guys to draw. Just try it out. Just try it. I guarantee you, if you can write your name, you can draw in 3D. I promise. And you'll love it, and you'll be happy, and it'll change your life forever. Ah! I can't believe I just drew hair on a dino baby. Wait, I got an idea. Look, what if we took his hair, had it come, look, it looks edgy. Look, he's all grunge. Yeah, I play bass in a band. Yeah. Okay, you guys are laughing at that, right? I play bass in the band. That was kind of funny, right? See, you guys are giving me a lot of love on that one. All right, the sun's up here. The sun's coming down. So we're going to identify. Let's put the sun. I'm going to put it right up here for the whole paper. Put the sun here. That'll be our light source up here by the wave. So the sun's coming down, and it would break out of here. Now, typically, we'd erase that, but we can't. Just take your pencil and put some shading under here. And then sun's over here. We always know, where's the light source? Let's put a shadow on the ground. Look at this. Let's cast a shadow. Say shadow. Oh, you guys are awesome. Shadow. Sun's over here. Sun's opposite. Here, so shade the side over here. Shade, shade, shade. Shade, shade, shade. Someone say shade. Look at your paper. Isn't that wonderful? You had a blank square, and suddenly you have a little dinosaur starting to hatch. Here, let's shade underneath here. Now you could, as you get going, progressing, you could add more detail. You could put jagged edges if you want. You can put like a little eggshell cracking as hatching. What do you think, kids? Do you like that? It's like, it's cracking. Dark here. Look at this. And then make it get lighter and light. Look at blended shading. Look at dark right here, a little bit inside. Now, I'm going to use texture. That's like another good and important word. As you walk through Artist Alley today, as you walk through all the vendors' booths, sign, really important word. Like up here, see this wonderful texture of the dots that gives it a feel, the foam. Look at what we're doing with the hair. I'm going to put texture here. If we were drawing a tree, the texture, like here, look at that. I put some dots on the dragon for texture. Texture is really, really, really important. Say texture. It gives it a feel. So sun's up here coming down. So let's shade opposite. Shade, 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 shade. And then down here, more texture, more grass. Have it settled in the grass. Texture, texture, texture. Isn't that wonderful? Well, good job. Now, way back here, I'm going to put a horizon line. In fact, here, I'll just extend this horizon line all the way through since we're going to draw an image up here taken off. Excuse me. Now, that looks cool. You guys, really good job. Now, you can take your finger, just touch a little bit to blend it. Just a tiny bit. Don't scrub it. It'll look like it's melting if you scrub it. Just a little bit, just a little tad, a little scrub. Now, this is another detail that can add really a neat effect. Behind here, we'll put some contrast value. Contrast value. I'm going to put a little dark on the horizon, light as it comes up. And look, isn't that cool? Someone say, oh, that's cool. Look at that. Isn't that neat? First drawing. That's awesome. All right, let's move on. Square number 2. This is a perfect time. You look at when in 11 minutes, look what you did. Take your hand and go, yay, me, yay. All right, show me your drawings here, guys. Let me see. Hold them up. Let me see them. Oh, look at all these artists out here. I'm so proud of you. Turn to each other and say, nice job. Turn to your parents and say, good try. No, don't do that. Don't do that. All right, next square. Let's move on to square number 2. And on this one, put a dot right here. I think what I'll do is I'll have a pencil launching. We're going to draw this line, and this will be a great symbol of what we're trying to do is make your pencil your launch vehicle for your ideas, for your imagination. So it comes up, now curve the end right here, and it's going to get larger. See, you're going to angle this. It gets larger as it comes up. Excuse me, curve the end. This actually is like a tube. Does that make sense? Yeah, Mr. Mark, that makes sense. A tube. Break time. All right, back to work. Now, take your pencil. This is where we use a pencil and not an ink pen at first. We erase a lot to clean it up. And now coming down at this angle, watch, this is horizontal or straight across. Slant this down just a little bit. Now I call this direction south east. Now this is something I use a lot in my classes and online. I hope you guys will go to Amazon Prime, or you go to my YouTube, or you go to my Facebook page. I talk a lot about the drawing compass. Now, this is something that has helped me teach kids for 40 years. Here's a regular compass. Here's a compass knocked over. I just flopped it over. And these are the 4 positions that artists, most of the time, not 100% of the time, but if you walk through Artist Alley, you'll see most of the feet are in these positions, okay? Most of the feet are coming down in, or hands, or the background, or the doors, or a cave. They're mostly coming in one of these directions. Not all the time, but 99% of the time. So what we're doing right here is we're taking the shadow and having it come down. Now, if you're interested at all in the drawing compass, you go to my website, which is, I don't know, yeah, it's at the bottom of the paper down here. Go to my website and go to printables. Go to online lessons and print. I have a whole bunch of free charts that will help you guys learn. I also have this chart on my website that if you guys are interested to learn more, it's called the 12 Renaissance words. All these words, these 12 words, are 500 years old. You see these words? This is a free chart. You can print this up. I didn't invent these. These words are 5 centuries old. Shading, shadow, foreshortening, overlapping, size. And they all, like, here's one of the words, shadow. Look at what we're going to do. We're going to make a shadow. Isn't that cool? Say, yeah, Mr. Mark, that's cool. You see how it's lifting it up? It's just the science of drawing. You're creating a visual illusion on your paper. Take your pencil and say, abracadabra. See that? Now, right up the middle, put a dot right here, and I'm going to draw the tip of the pencil, see? Doesn't that look cool? It's taking off, it's launching. And then I need, what's this boy's name right here? What's your name there, Mr. Haircut? Okay, Dad, really loud, I can't hear. Mr. Cool Guy. Here you are. Stand up and wave to everybody so they know who you are. Here, wave. Hi, there he is. So here he is. He's our pilot today, and he's getting ready to launch. And look at, his glasses fell off. So here he is. He's all excited. Yeah! Woo! He pushed the button. My glasses fell off. Woo! He's getting ready for launch. And then, here, take your pencil, and let's clean this up in here. Clean up. Take your pencil. Use a contour line. Curve that line here, and draw this line here. All the way in here. Angle that up. That's awesome. All right. Shade down here. All right. I'm going to give away some prizes today for you guys for being here today. Does anybody want these original drawings? This is worth about 100 dirham, about $2. And if you guys look at that, I love you volunteers. By the way, all you volunteers get a free art print at the end of tomorrow, okay? All you orange shirts, every Comic-Con I go to, I give every volunteer a free $20 art print. I love you guys. We couldn't do a Comic-Con without you. Give our volunteers a big hand, okay? So if you volunteers would spread the word, you guys, I'm assuming you like my work, of course, and take my artwork. If you guys would like, come on by at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and I'll give every volunteer a free piece. All right, so we're going to continue this over here. Now, I'm going to tell you, by the way, at my booth today, we'll end here at 10:45 in about 20 minutes. Yeah, about 20 minutes. I'll go down to my booth at noon. Let's say 12:15. At 12:15, I'm going to write it here, 12:15. It's right at the front. You'll see at my table. I'll get names and a hat. And I'll draw names, and I'll give away. Should I give away a couple of my books? Raise your hand. Okay, I'll give away a couple of my books. You have to promise you'll use them if I give away. And I'll give away this art here, and then I'll give away my car keys. All right, there you go. There's 2 drawings. You guys, isn't that awesome? All right, now, this is usually where I have kids come up on stage to show me your drawing, but I'm not going to do that. So just hold up your drawing for a second. I want to take a picture. Hold them up. I'm going to take a picture I'm going to send this to my parents. All right, hold on. I'm going to actually post this. I'm going to go to panorama. Okay, ready? Okay, here we go. And this will be interesting to see if oh, I can see you guys are like ghosts. Oh, that looks cool. Okay, that'll be on Facebook. You want to see what it looks like? Here, I'll show you. I'll show you here. Look, ready? Here, can you see yourself? What is going on? Come on there. Come on there, camera. All right. That's cool. All right, what we're going to do, let me tell you a little story. December 22nd, this about 4 months ago, I'm in India at Comic-Con in India, and I was visiting children's hospitals and universities in Mumbai and New Delhi and Comic-Cons. It was just an extraordinary experience. I went to an Indian wedding. It was awesome. Who wants to see a picture of me wearing the most beautiful outfit in India? All right, you go to my Instagram. It's on Instagram. And they tailored an outfit for me to wear. I look so pretty. It's awesome. You should wait till you see it. You're gonna go, yeah, he's right. He looks pretty. You should see it. It's very, okay, there's Instagram. Check out the picture. Check it out. Follow me. December 22nd, I go to the Taj Mahal 2 days before I fly back to the United States. I'm amazed. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. It's beautiful. I take my cell phone. I have to draw it. And I don't have this tripod right here. I have my hand. I sit down. There's monkeys on the wall sitting there just staring at me. And I drew this live on Facebook. Someone say, awesome. Since then, we've had about 37,000 artists draw, or kids and folks draw this with me on YouTube and Facebook. Well, I did that, and I realized, you know what? I had so much fun. I'm going to try it for 30 days. I love New Year's resolutions. I love the hope and the possibilities. So I set a goal. I'm going to go for 30 days. I'm going to go for 30 days and draw every day for 30 days. And so here's what I did. Look at this. I can't believe I made it. Someone say awesome. Every day for 30 days, I did it in a baggage claim carousel at 11:58, one time in Chicago. I did it in an Uber car at 11:42 in Seattle, Washington, going from the hotel to the airport. I made it 30 days, all on my iPhone, and I just couldn't stop. So then I went, look at this, I went 70 days, and I couldn't stop. Every night live, every day, no matter what, I did a drawing. Then we went 100 days, oh my gosh. And then we went 140 days. Someone say awesome. Every drawing, every day. And then we went all the way to day 173 last week. And right now, today, we are on a day 180, right here. We are 180. That was our goal, right here. Today, we've made 4 months, 180 days. Isn't that awesome? And you know what? I am right now announcing it. I am going to go 1,000 days live and break a world record. All right? 1,000 days. Who's with me? Who's with me? All right. So let's go live. Let's do it. It's about a 10-minute. We're going to do our last lesson. We'll be live with the world. I'm going to do a multiple camera thing going here. It's always fun to try to get it working, but we'll do it. And let's hope we have enough bandwidth to go. Let's do it. You guys want to go live? I'm not hearing a lot of love out there. Here we go. Oh, you guys, you're my favorite class ever. All right. We are, boop. Let's go. We're going to go right here. Hey, we're live. We made it. Hey. Well, here we are. We are at Corpus Christi Comic-Con. There's my fans out there. There they are, going crazy. And there's my cool volunteers out there. I love you volunteers. We have look at this, we have 800. Okay, we have 7 people on us right now. 800, okay, we have 7. Well, hopefully, hey, we have Clinton from Houston. Hello, Clinton. We have John Dale from Pittsburgh. Hopefully, soon we're going to get India. We should get Ireland. We should get Brazil coming on soon. Hello, Steve Bonquist. Well, let's get going. We're going to do a drawing, and this one, Do you want to draw fish? Do you want to draw penguins? Do you want to draw birds? Do you want to draw dragons? Do you want to draw, we could go anywhere. Put your hand on your head. Put your hand on, everybody, put your hand on your head. Stretch, stretch, stretch your ideas. Stretch, go, ow! Let it go, share it with the world. Stretch, we're gonna go. Let's draw a little fishy guy. Let's draw a fishy guy. All right, so draw here. We're gonna go. Now, I just congratulated all you viewers out there on Facebook. Many of you, hundreds of you have done 180 days. Today is 180 days, and I'm announcing right now. Oh, John Dale said Pittsburgh. I'm from Oregon. Okay, sorry, John Dale. Everybody say hi to Oregon. I'm a little ADHD. Oh, squirrel. 180 days. Today, we made it. Give us a hand, you guys. 180 days. So I am announcing it officially. Officially, we are going 1,000 days, you guys. 1,000 days. And everybody here said, yeah, let's do it. They're joining us. I'm gonna draw this fish. I'm gonna draw his mouth coming out. I'm blocking now, very light. There's Karen Wall. Hello, Karen Wall. Hello, Christopher Kent. Hello, Kevin Anders. Hello, Josh Mosh. I love that name. Hello, Christopher. Hello, Doug. Everybody from Washington, from Paris, from Brazil. Good to see you. Here, let's block this in. We're gonna draw a really funky fish with this cool overbite. Now, this is a contour line. We're just drawing super light. We're sketching, we're molding, we're shaping. I'm gonna draw one eye right here. See, I'm gonna kind of curve that. See, I'm gonna adjust it a little bit. And then back here, see this? We're gonna have that. I don't know if I think I'll just draw no teeth. Usually I put jagged teeth, but now take your pencil, let's erase it. Notice what I did. I started drawing super light, really, really light, and then we draw darker detail, layer upon layer, layer upon layer, detail. Someone said, look at these hearts. Look at all these hearts out there. Hey, we got Alfred from Ireland. Say hello, Dublin. Hello, Dublin. Hey, Alfred, you got to see this. Check this out. Look at Alfred. Look at, here we are in America. Wave, guys. Woo. Look at this. We're all together, left, right, in the middle. We're all together, drawing and being creative. Here's for American. Here's for unity, you guys. That's right. We all can solve problems. We all can do it together. We all can get along. Take your hand. Say, yeah, you go, Daddy. You go, Daddy. That's right. I have so much optimism with seeing you guys here. Let's draw that. Draw the eyes. The near eye's front, and this is far away. Alfred said, hello, everyone from Ireland. Here, draw. Look at put a little pupil here. Put that little pupil. And then the dorsal fin. Now watch this. Up at top, I'm going to draw a really neat dorsal fin. This is almost like a dragon's back right here. See this? Now look at, I'm going to just tell you a story here on this one. When I draw the fin, see that scoop? I used to call that a scallop line. I said draw a scallop. But last year I was watching this really controversial, violent TV show called Cake Boss. Have you ever seen Cake Boss? Raise your hand if you saw Cake Boss. I love Cake Boss. So Mr. Cake Boss guy took his thumb and he went like this. He took his thumb and he pressed it and said, let's flute the line, flute the frosting. And I go, fluted, that's a wonderful word. I'm going to teach all my kids around the world how that word is wonderful. So I sent him an email. My first fan, I said, dear Mr. Cake Boss, longtime viewer, first time writer, maybe you guys should throw cupcakes less, but I love the word that you said for fluted. I love it. I'm going to teach lots of kids around the world. By the way, I'm famous too. I really said that. So I sent him, I said, I'm a little insecure. I have to validate myself. So I sent it to him. I sent him an email. I swear, you ask my kids. I sent him the email, and about 3 months later, I got an email back. Guess what he said? This is from Cake Boss now, okay? Guess what he said? Thanks. I was so excited, man. I printed it, and I got one of those little certificates thing frames, and I framed it. My kids thought this was really weird. I don't know why. I thought it was cool and totally reasonable, and I hung it up in my office. We're BFFs, man. You know, we're pen pals. Thanks. All right, here, draw this. Draw this here. I thought that was a good story. Do you guys like that story? You want to hear the story of me teaching the #1 bull rider on the planet how to draw? I'll tell you, I was in New York City doing some programs. I got on the plane, got bumped up to first class. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I acknowledge it and go, oh, I love this. Now, what I've learned is you can't want it. You have to let it happen. It's a Zen thing. So one time, 1 in a million, I get bumped up. I'm sitting in first class. Oh, this is so wonderful. Oh, and who comes in and sits next to me? This fellow I had seen at 2 in the morning on TV. I was wide awake in the hotel, traveled, and I had, for some reason, was watching the bull riding championship in New York, Madison Square Garden, on ESPN in New York, or Sports Channel, whatever. And the guy who won it, the #1 bull rider in the world, got on the plane and sat right next to me. This big burly guy sits down, and his hands were all swollen from holding, and he sat down and he goes, oh my gosh, I saw you on TV. You're the bull rider guy. You won. Ah! He goes, I'm a little freaky sometimes. And I go, oh, that's awesome. So we started talking, and I told him I was an artist, and that was what I do, teach kids how to draw on television and books and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, I've always wanted to learn how to draw, but I never did. And I'm retiring, and I want to learn how to paint and draw. And so I said, oh, well, you sat next to the right guy. And so for 2 hours, the first drawing I taught him how to draw a lily, a flower, this big bull riding crazy guy, and he drew the lily, and he started to cry on the plane. And he looked, I could start crying thinking of it, then I started to cry because I'm a total baby, just ask my kids. And so we're both sitting there, big macho guys crying on the plane. And he goes, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever done and has he ever created. So when we get off the plane, what's the first thing he does? His family, his kids are there. He shows his wife and his kids his flower he drew. Isn't that cool? So there's that is the power of drawing, you guys. So I taught the world famous bull rider how to draw a flower. Did you like my story? Yes. Yeah. Here, draw this. Should I tell you the time I taught the king of Tonga how to draw? Here, shade down here. Should I tell you the story about how I taught Miley Cyrus how to draw? Yes. All right, how much time do I have here? I can't tell the time. What time is it? Is it 11:34? Thank you. I actually heard that. So I have time. All right. So here, let's shade underneath here. This is a good story. It's a good story. My Draw 3D online website and my YouTube lessons and my books are used for homeschooling for the Disney kids at Sweet Life and Zach and Cody, which is the Waverly Place, That's So Raven, Hannah Montana. Back in the 80s and 90s, they used my curriculum for their art curriculum. All the kids in the television production, they all had to have homeschool, 3 hours a day. All the children, by California law, had to have school in the mornings from 8 to 12. I'm about that. And then they would do production 12 to 4. They could work 4 hours a day. Well, they'd use my art program an hour a day, and then science and math. That is a background to the story. I'm standing in my kitchen in Houston, Texas, and I'm with my wife and my kids. At the time, my daughter was, 6, 7, and my phone rings, my cell phone, and I answer the phone, hello, and a teenager says, hi, is this Commander Mark? And I go, oh, whoa, honey, I don't know how you got my number. I need you to hang up and have your parents call me. You can't be calling this number. It's not appropriate. So I hung up. All right. So, kids, don't call adults. You need to have your parents call. So again, the phone rings, and I pick it up, and it's a girl, and she's a teenager, obviously, and she goes, hey, this has got to be Commander Mark. And I said, honey, if you call again, I'm going to star 69, and I don't want you to be in trouble, but you can't be doing this. This is not safe. It's not appropriate. I'm a dad. I have no problem opening up a can of daddy. So I hung up. Well, then the phone rings again, and I go, so I pick it up, and I go, honey, you can't do it. And then it was a voice saying, hello, this is Billy Ray Cyrus. And I didn't know. I didn't. Subsequently, I love his music, but I had no idea. I'm into classical music and show tunes, you know. And he explained, oh, my daughter, she's on a TV show called Hannah Montana. They have your books in her classroom, and she wants to wear the jacket when she does a rock show in New York at 8 Good Morning America. She loves the book, that outfit on, did you guys, the jacket. Let me see if I can put it up here on the screen for you again. This right here. She liked all those crayons and stuff. So I ended up, I got her, you know, I said, oh, thank you. And, oh, wait, the funny part of the story was I go, Billy Ray Cyrus, Hannah Montana, Miley, what? Well, my little 7-year-old heard me say that and started screaming like a crazed girl. Then my wife heard me, and so I said, sir, apparently I'm the only one who doesn't know who you guys are in this house. So, and it turns out that we got her the jacket. She wore it. They love it, and they invited us to go out to Hollywood. My daughter got to go on set for Hannah Montana, and a couple times. It was wonderful. Then when she came to Texas, this is many years ago. I don't know. Remember, she came to the Reliance Center and filled out 28,000 seats in 60 seconds. And my daughter was 7 years old, wearing, little, the beautiful, cute little Hannah Montana outfit. And we got a golf cart police cart, got this escort sitting on this golf cart through the rodeo, 800 million people. So we go into the arena, and Miley Cyrus is on stage rehearsing for about an hour sound check, and my daughter got to go up on stage and dance with her. It was wonderful. I got to sit in the cart with her parents, with Billy Ray and her mom, just delightful people. We just sat and watched them. Well, after about an hour and a half of her up there and bowls running around the outside of the arena, this was the rodeo, there's no one there, 28,000 kids ready to come into the stadium, and Miley said, oh, you guys, you got to stay. We have front row seats. And this is probably, okay, this was not in hindsight, maybe not a good daddy choice, okay? But at the time, we did an hour and a half. I'm done with the crowd, and I really wanted to go. And so I said, okay, we got to go. Thank you. That was wonderful. This was a great treat. We need to go now. Oh, my gosh. Okay. 7 years old or 8 years old, and 28,000 girls coming in looking just like she does, and I didn't stay, right? So, it was a nightmare, but then it was a matter of principle. I can't let her freak out in public and let her win, so then we have to go. Well, I should have, she's 20 now, and she still remembers that, all right? So we laugh about it now, but that was my story, that we got to go when my daughter danced on stage, and then I left before the concert. Now, raise a hand. Was that a lame decision? Yeah, okay. I'm not getting any response. Was that a good story or a lame story? Yeah, raise your hand if you guys are out there and alive. All right. Well, guys, I want to thank you guys for drawing with me and for being creative. Wave goodbye to the world, the Facebook world there. Thank you for letting me tell you my story of the Hannah Montana and of the bull rider and drawing in 3D. I hope you guys draw every day. One drawing every day, no matter what. That's what I hope you guys do. Now, please, come down to my booth. I want to give you viewers of the Secret City and Imagination Station a free autograph poster. The secret word is no matter what. That's our secret phrase, no matter what. And for those of you who want to win something for free, I'm going to give away some books. I'll give away this drawing right here that I just did. You come on down and we'll have you write your name on a piece of paper. I'll draw names out of a hat, okay? Thank you, Corpus Christi Comic-Con, for inviting me. Bye, everybody. Thank you. I'll be down there in about 20 minutes, okay, at 11:15. Wow, that was right on time. Yeah, we got 3 minutes. If anybody has any questions while I'm packing, feel free to ask. Thank you again, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. No matter what. And you just tell me what show you remember. Okay. Well, you come on over there. Thank you. And thank you for drawing with me. You guys are my favorite. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
You got the touch, and you got the power.
We've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight. We'll always be with you. No one's ever really gone.
We've done this dance for so long. Like the view? It's the only thing you'll catch tonight.
Is Batman your new boy toy? I have one too. None of this is my fault. He made me control Superman.
What's his name?
He calls himself Hush.
The events of the past months reach as high as Superman and as low as the Joker. All were set into motion by Hush.
Is it too much to ask for one quiet weekend?
It's like they're all crawling out from under the carpets now.
Hush knows me. He's been one step ahead of me the whole time.
Tick-tock, trail's going cold.
This just gets better and better. Hush, Batman. Hush.
Crows represent order, security, safety.
Batman gave up on us. The Bat's not coming back.
Something's up. Eyes everywhere.
Hello, said Alice. Shall we believe the crows will protect us?
Agent Moore, do you copy? Do you copy?
Sophie's missing. I thought you should know.
Hey, Dad.
We're gonna find her.
Then let me help.
Bad idea. Where'd you get this? What happened to staying out of it?
Is there something you'd like to report to your squad?
We ran in without proper backup.
I do not want her getting in the way.
Curiouser and curiouser.
What do you want?
I need you to send your father a message.
You're all I have left, Kate. And I don't want to lose you too.
Wayne Security. You owe my boss a new door.
Your boss is my cousin.
You don't want to go to that. You were seriously not supposed to know what's down there.
So I have this thing with rolls. I need you to fix his suit.
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits a woman.
You're a female Bruce Wayne.
Awesome, hilarious, handsome. They think I'm him. I'm not about to let a man take credit for a woman's work.
I think women can do anything.
Just because they can doesn't mean they should.
But I have so many talents.
It's like I'm powerful with a little bit of tender.
I'm just a decoy stud.
That's just the way you make me feel.
Who steals humanitarian aid money?
Outstanding. Angels.
You have a new client?
Who is she?
I can't sleep at night. I'm the lead programmer on a product that can revolutionize the power industry. But there is a possibility it can be weaponized.
Elena, we need to go.
No!
You're not a waitress? No, I'm Jane.
Oh.
Who are you?
I'm Bosley. Welcome to the Townsend Agency. We exist because traditional law enforcement can't keep up.
I don't like that, boy.
You guys are like lady spies. Jane's former MI6.
Oh God. What did you do to Sven? I compressed his carotid and deoxygenated his brainstem. Well, that sounds painful.
Don't worry, he's gonna wake up.
Unless he doesn't.
Sabina runs the ground game. See, I know stuff. Let's get the weapon before it becomes every bad guy's favorite new toy. Take her to the closet, gear her up. We're gonna need some wigs, toys,
Feisty.
clothes. Ah, we're still in the first closet.
There's another closet. Oh, mints.
Let's just stop the touching. Some of these blows up. I love phosphorus.
It's my favorite chemical.
Jane, are you flirting with a handsome nerd?
Of course not.
How'd that feel? Because it looked like it felt really good.
That felt nice.
Here we go!
Be in it together, but don't call me Angel.
Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
I'm watching that. Give me the remote. No. It's off.
Zach, what the bloody hell do you think you're doing? You really want to choke her out in a lot of fingers?
Yeah.
Now pull it tight. Oh, yeah. Now she's in trouble.
Oh, wait, I know you. You're from that weird family, aren't you?
We're not weird.
We don't like wrestling.
How do you know if you've never been?
I've never had rectal bleeding before, but I'm pretty sure I'm not a fan of that.
How about I shove her head up your ass and then we can find out? Hello?
My name is Hutch Morgan. I'm calling from WWE. We'd like both of you to come try out for us.
It's all fake anyway, isn't it?
What?
Sorry about that.
It's The Rock! We're huge fans.
Thank you so much.
What advice would you give us? We want to be the next you.
What are your names again?
My name.
It doesn't matter what your names are. You walk around here interrupting the Rock, you like you haven't seen the sun in 20 years. You like you just stepped out of Oliver Twist. Please, sir, may I have some more advice, sir? You want some advice? Here's the Rock's advice. Shut your mouth.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Got it.
Good morning, wrestling nerds. Well, this is where we see whether or not you get to go on to WWE.
This is our shot, Zach.
I know.
Why do you want to wrestle?
I'm the toughest bastard in any room. Probably shouldn't swear, not when there's ladies present. Sorry, miss. Sorry about that.
If I call your name, that means you'll be coming with me to Florida. Paige. Thank you all very much.
You have to take my brother. No one deserves this more than Zach.
I wish you the best, son, but this is the end of the line for you.
Do you know what it's like to want one thing in life, and then your own sister takes it away from you?
It was my dream too.
I have no idea who I'm supposed to be out there.
You're not just doing this for you. You're doing it for the family.
Paige, I myself have come from a wrestling family too. I know exactly what it means to you. But don't worry about being the next me. Be the first you.
What?
It's Dwayne Johnson. How are you?
Prove it.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Yeah, and I'm Vin Diesel, mate.
I'm sorry.
Halt! Hands up!
Have fun.
I'm here for you, to help take the load off your shoulders.
So, what's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Here, this is for you.
A flower?
it's early. How you doing? All righty. Who's ready to meet and talk with the grooviest guy at West Ohio? Y'all ready? Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Brady, Barry Williams.
I have a new theme song. Cool as that. I like it. Let's go on the road. Let's take it out there. Hey, thank you. Hey, thank you for coming this afternoon. This is a lot of fun for me. It's the first time I've ever been to Corpus Christi. A lot of firsts. First time to this con. Well, that's not a surprise because this is like, I think, year three, right? Year number 3. Let's chat for a minute. Because I haven't met any of you here, and I know that you know me mostly from the Brady Bunch. So I thought I'd just let you know a little bit about the history of that show and also how that kind of came into my life, which was through inspiration. And I love talking about inspiration because that's so available to everybody. And it's everywhere. If you're receptive, if you're looking for it, if you anticipate it, or you want to bring it into your life, inspiration is available. And I happen to have been very, very young when this particular inspiration came to me, 4 years old. And as a youngster, like many of us, grew up on television. And the favorite time for watching television was Saturday mornings. And on Saturday mornings at that time, and that would be in the early 60s for me, there was a show called Fury. And Fury was a story about a rancher, like in Arizona, and he had a big black horse called Fury that nobody could ride except for this man's adopted son, who was just a few years older than I. Turns out, this actor's daughter went to school with me. And that inspired me to want to become an actor. Watching this show, this Fury about this horse, and on Saturday mornings, I want to do that for a living. That actor's name is Peter Graves. Now, Peter Graves, many of us know as the silver-haired Mr. Phelps from Mission Impossible on television. And I asked him when I was 4 how he got to be an actor. And he said, I just thought about it. I'm thinking he didn't take me very seriously. So I did think about it, and I thought about it for a while. My parents discouraged it for years, and when I was 11, I went into the kitchen and I said, Mom, Dad, you're standing in the way of my destiny. I want to be an actor. And my dad stopped saying no. My mom was supportive, and that's how I started my career, by studying acting first. And that teacher introduced me to an agent, and I got an agent growing up in Hollywood. And then I would go out on calls and go out to meet producers, to meet directors at studios, and I started to work in lots of shows of the day. So by the time the Brady Bunch came around, I'd had quite a body of work. I even, just before we started work full-time on the Brady Bunch, had an audition for Mission Impossible. And the mission was about the character I was auditioning for, a young king who needed to be saved by the IMF. And I got the role. So it became full circle for me. And I asked Mr. Graves if he had anything to do with my getting cast. He said, oh, no. You did that on your own. So that was a real nice full circle. And where I started with inspiration is that lined up with my life's work and what I wanted to do. So I'm a big fan of that. And it is a reminder always that those things are there. They're always available to us, but you got to look for them, and you need to be receptive to them. Now, the Brady Bunch, of course, has changed my career, the direction of my career, my life. I spent my entire teenage years doing that original show, 14 to 20. And we started, and we'll celebrate our 50th anniversary in September 26th. And some interesting things about the Brady Bunch, it's never been off the air, ever. We went into syndication before we finished filming the show, and it has never, ever been off the air in over 50 years. Each one of our 119 episodes has aired over 185,000 times, each episode. So that's like 30 million views reinforcing one character. So that obviously has impacted my life and career tremendously, and we're only talking about the original show. The Brady Bunch has been a sitcom and a cartoon show and a variety hour. It's been specials like A Very Brady Christmas, The Brady Girls Get Married, The Brady Brides. In the 80s, there was The Bradys. In the 90s, there were a couple of movies. I had a best-selling book with Growing Up Brady, which I produced for NBC as a 2-hour movie called Growing Up Brady. And so there's been a lot of Brady, other than just the original series, but it's had an enormous impact. So I'm happy to be here this afternoon and to say hello to all of you. I have a booth downstairs too, so I hope you'll stop by later and we can chat more. And if you have questions today that you'd like to talk about, or we can engage back and forth, this is a great opportunity to do that. And you'll moderate for us. I'd appreciate that. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Oh, that was awesome. Give him a round of applause, guys. And he answered all my questions. Goodbye, guys. No, I'm just kidding. No. You know, it is such a treat. You brought up a lot of the high points where 50 years, that is just fantastic. The show hasn't been off the air. And it's still up to this day, personally, it still impacts my life in such a way where it's always trying to do the right thing, always to do better, and always chase your dreams. And I think Greg Brady was one of the highlights right there. He was a strong leader, and it was one of those characters that I felt at that time, well, of course not at that time, but I just felt watching him, he was like a big brother to me. So, right? That's a round of applause right there. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you for that. But it really ties in with Corpus Christi Comic-Con too. You know, with what we do here as well, is try to, you know, don't be afraid, chase your dreams, and that's exactly what the Brady Bunch to me really does. So that's awesome. Jumping back on the 50 years anniversary, how does that come to you, knowing that it's been going on for 50 years? How do you still, what goes through your mind when you hear 50 years and the Brady Bunch is still strong?
The Brady Bunch has reunited. We're currently in production for a new series in September. This is not an extended series. This will be maybe 4 or 5 episodes. HG Television has bought the original what we would think of as the Brady House. The Brady House, our cast had actually never been in. The picture that we see when we watch the Brady Bunch of the outside, you know, you have the theme music going on. Da, 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 and there's the house. And then we cut, and then, you know, Mike's, "Hi, honey, I'm home," or whatever. "Greg, why are you wearing bell bottoms?" All that's on a sound stage at Paramount Studios in Hollywood. Not a real house. It's a set. There's no ceiling. The oven didn't really work. We didn't even have a toilet. And the water wouldn't work unless they set that up particularly for an episode. So it was a set. Well, HG Television bought the house that has that front, and they have basically demoed the house, increased its size by almost 2.5 times, and added a second story, and then recreated almost exactly our set. as a real functioning house with water that works and an outside. We did use artificial turf because we had artificial turf in the backyard. So they put artificial turf in the backyard. But there's a seesaw there, and there's the swing set and the like. And the living room, it looks exactly the same in the staircase, except now it really goes upstairs to a hallway and the boys' bedroom and the girls' bedroom. So we've been building that over the last year, and I visited. I don't live in Los Angeles any longer, but I've gone back 9 times, to help HG and their stars, like the Property Brothers. Are you familiar with Property Brothers? Lara Spencer from Good Morning America, Jasmine Roth from Collectibles and Good Morning America. Jasmine does Hidden Treasures, another HG series about rebuilding. So they rebuilt and recreated the Brady Bunch house. So this all coincides with the 50th anniversary. So my reflections are through the show are an opportunity to go back through even the minutia of when we were first filming. And we will take all of the viewers of this show through that same sort of retro, nostalgic view of the experience inside Mike's den, for instance, or what happened in the Brady backyard when Bobby and Cindy were having a teeter-totter contest.
Now, did you and the siblings, the family from the Brady Bunch, were able to go there with the recreated home or kind of fully finished built house? Have y'all been able to go there together after it's been done?
We were hands-on constructing it.
Okay.
And demoing the house. I mean, Marcia picked up a sledgehammer. Turns out I'm pretty good with a nail gun. We were each assigned different kind of aspects, different areas of the house to focus on. So Chris Knight, Peter, and Michael Lookinland, Bobby, focused on the outside and creating that. Eve Plum focused on the living room. Susan Olson, Cindy, focused on the kitchen. I was focused on the Mike's den and Greg's attic bedroom, and worked with EHG talent to recreate these rooms. So, as I say, I've been back there many times, more than 8 times, working on all different levels of the deconstruction and the reconstruction, renovation of the house, which is, by the way, would be called a very Brady renovation. And so, yeah, and they just finished it. We just did the final reveal not 10 days ago. And so they're getting it ready for the September airing.
Nice. What does that mean for, I guess, if anything, the public? Once the house is done, we show it off. What then happens to the house? Do you know what's going to happen? Will they be able to bring in people to take a look at the house, or will it just be forever Brady home?
We don't know. The couple of things we do know is that it is not zoned for commercial use. So it won't be a museum. You won't be able to line up and buy a ticket and go through it. But HG has ideas about some contests where a viewer or a fan can go live in it for a week. There may be special parties. I think it's possible they would do television shows from there. I thought it might be fun to use the kitchen and do a cooking show, because the company that owns HG, Discovery, also owns Food Network. So it might be used something like that, but they don't really know. I know that Lance Bass from NSYNC bid on the house and he did not have the winning bid, but HG has been very sensitive to his interest in the house, so it's possible they'll give him a chance to buy it now that it's completed. what we're hoping for is that it will this restoration will be, well, this renovation will be maintained, and it will remain as the Brady house. I mean, complete to the 70s. So we're talking about that orange laminate. We're talking the green chairs. We're talking the shag carpets. We're talking the rocks on the wall. The same exact staircase. The same patterns of wallpaper. There's like a 1970s green side-by-side refrigerator in there, you know, the rotary phones.
What's that? I know some of the kids out there, what's a rotary phone?
Right. So we're hopeful that now that that's been done and recreated as really only HG could do, that it will be it'll be maintained and and stay that way for years to come.
So with everything happening right now with the home and being involved with everybody, are y'all still keeping a close connection with the family? I mean, after 50 years and still being involved together, doing shows, the cartoons, and et cetera, are y'all still keeping in close contact even after everything has finished?
We've never lost close contact. Our friendships were born during the filming of the show, and these friendships have lasted a lifetime. What's unique about this year is that we're getting together at the same time. Usually we're seeing one or the other. A couple, like Chris Knight and I we go out to dinner or we travel together. Sometimes at cons, we'll have maybe Bobby and Cindy and I will be together for different reasons, social reasons or professional. So those bonds have always been there. But this has given us an opportunity to be together at the same time, and that hasn't happened in over 15 years.
That's awesome. With the bonds that y'all have created, let's think back when it first started. Did y'all immediately, starting doing the Brady Bunch show, did y'all immediately click together? Like y'all were just like, yeah, this is my younger brother, this is my younger sister. Did it just work naturally for you guys, or was there some bumps on the road, or did you just have to work together to get to that point?
Well, like a family, it grew together. We didn't know if we would get along or like each other, and frankly, it didn't matter. We had jobs to do. We were fortunate that many of the roles and the producers and the writers also wrote the show to accommodate our own personalities. That's how we got music in the show, because I have a music career. I have a music career, a thriving music career now, and wanted to use the show as a platform and brought that to the producers. So our personalities were incorporated, but it was a very natural evolution of becoming closer, and it seemed only natural and is highly unusual, but it seemed natural to us that those relationships and friendships would continue.
Nice. And for the music part, I guess you could say, I personally know, but were you always a natural singer in the actual show? Or was that something that was subbed in?
I wanted music to be a part of it, but I studied music a lot, and for many, many years, through that year and then long after. But the music was probably the first, real opportunity to bring it to a larger audience.
And was the music and the dance numbers that y'all would do together, was that something that I guess you could say, even though it was part of the job like you mentioned, was that something that you looked forward to more than the traditional maybe just acting inside the home or anything?
Well, I did, for sure, but that's we all had varying degrees of interest in the music side of it. Chris Knight, Peter, was not interested in it at all. And so there were, and sometimes I think Susan and Michael felt they were being left out a little bit. So, but I loved it.
And just to let y'all guys know I see a lot more people coming in and whatnot. We do have a mic right there in the middle. So remember, this is not just me and him, it's everybody together. So if you have a question, feel free to go right up to the mic. She is smiling right there, so I think she said she'll go first. Right there. No, just kidding. But with the Brady Bunch, 50 years later,
how can I say, do you foresee with HDTV, like everything, do you feel like there's going to be more opportunities for the Brady Bunch to do something more together? Like you brought up the whole cooking show, that'd be great. But would you feel that there's something else that is going to possibly be in the works?
Not in a situation comedy world, not like a Modern Family or things like that. I do think that the concept of the Brady Bunch, which is a blended family, could be redone and contemporized for today. But I think something like mixed races would be interesting, a mixed religion or like that. You could have maybe a Japanese and Latino family marrying and bringing the kids together, and how does that all work? Or something like that. Black and Muslim would be fun, or something like that. But not. I don't think the kind of humor and the kind of soft shows and storylines that we had would play today. Today's shows are much edgier. They have a good deal more cynicism, and so I'm not sure that part of it would work, but it could be done. For the Brady Bunch, what we refer to as the Brady Bunch kids, as we as actors or personalities, yeah, perhaps, but not. I don't see it as a series unless it were some kind of scripted reality, something like that.
And it looks like we got our first question.
This man drove 2 hours to get here.
I already bragged that I already took my picture with him, and you all got to go take a picture with him because I took we posed with the tiki god. So you all got to go. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, I have the tiki from the Hawaiian episode here.
Yeah. So I was like, you all got to go take a picture with him. So you have to. My question to you, like I told you, I drove 2 hours all the way from Laredo, Texas. It's on the border to Mexico. I remember when I was a little kid, and he was like a big brother to us. Mm-hmm.
I still am, and I hope you didn't do any speeding while you came here. I hope this was really a 2-hour drive, not a 3-hour drive you did in 2 hours. Just checking, okay.
Now you're in trouble.
Not through Alice, but that's an insight. Don't tell the cops there. No, but I was going to ask you, okay, I remember when we were little kids, my friends who lived across in Nuevo Laredo, where I live, which is in the Mexico side, they wouldn't call you Greg, they would call you Greg.
Greg.
Because that Greg. Anyways.
I got it.
My question to you is, me being on the border and there's Mexico, where's like the furthest that you've met or somebody's come up to you from another country, or that you've traveled into, I don't know, maybe Europe or Japan or somewhere, that they've come up to you and said, oh, me know you. Oh, I don't know.
You just hit 3 of them. Europe, Japan, Australia,
My brother's married to a Chinese girl, so I'm not being
Italy, France, Germany.
Yes, anywhere.
Yeah, well, all of them.
Really?
The Brady Bunch, television's changed a lot. When we made that show and it was distributed globally into 146 different countries. I didn't even, when I wrote my book, I did a lot of it was like a thesis for me. And because I wanted to include a lot of the elements around the show as well as the show itself. And so I looked to see how deeply this show had been released. There were 146 different countries. I didn't know there were 146 different countries. And so the exposure of the original sitcom is quite deep. So I've met people, Italy. I've had people from India as well, and non-speaking too, but they make a connection and recognize. And
I think Brady Bunch was very universal. So I mean, I don't know, you guys. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I'm so glad you came.
Go ahead.
Hi, Barry. Okay, I have a question. Do you have a favorite line from any of the episodes? Like for me, my favorite line for you is "Something suddenly came up."
Yeah, that's one. I didn't say this, but that's great, Greg. That's great, Greg. I thought that was fun.
I love it. And the other comment I have is I saw something on HGTV about the renovation of the Brady house that you're making. Did Bobby really get part of his pinky cut off?
Yes, but not during that show. He did that all by himself at home with a table saw. I told him, I said, I felt that I'd failed in my big brother responsibilities. I said, read the manual. Do not insert finger when blade is moving.
Well, thank you so much for all the memories.
Thank you.
I love them so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Woo! Hey, round of applause on that. So, with following up on one of the questions that he was talking about with the, all over the country and all the fans that you have, what kind of impact did that do to you as a young man with the exposure? You were doing your job, you're in one spot doing everything, and all of a sudden you step outside in the world and everybody knows you. What did that do to you as a young man back then?
We didn't really, we didn't have a sense of how enormous that the show was in the first couple of years until we'd made records and until we went out to tour singing in concerts and at fair dates in Las Vegas and at amusement parks around the country. And that's really when we had a sense of kind of the loyalty and excitement that we were generating with the show. And that's, it's a very inflated kind of experience. It's unusual. I always get a kick out of actors. Oh, I had a perfectly normal childhood growing up. It's not normal. It's different. It's not bad, but it's different. And it's privileged. I was like fully into it. I just thought this was just great, why doesn't everybody have like a bunch of screaming, fans, chasing them around or trying to find their room in a hotel or, trying to crash, But I thought to me it was cool and it was part of the gig, and I enjoyed it a little bit like a game and having fun with it. It took me a while to reground later in life and understand and gain a good perspective on it.
I'm gonna say, I got a little jolt when you were saying it's cool. You just sounded just like from the show. And I was like, oh, it is cool. Go ahead with the next question, buddy.
Having seen your show, your musical show and stuff.
Which one?
The one in Branson, actually.
Oh, okay.
What bands and artists influenced your music?
Well, 70s, and that's why I called it the 70s Music Celebration. I probably learned to sing with Elton John, but that music of that sort of like pop rockish area, I'm not talking like the glam AC/DCs or Metallicas, that kind of thing. That was much harder edge than I like, because I enjoyed the performing side of it. Performing, when I think of performing, I was thinking more stage, Vegas, concert kind of, dance. So those are the people.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, Barry.
Hi.
Remember me?
Yes, I called you Lucy.
I know. I love that. But yeah, my question was.
I think that's her real hair, I'm pretty sure.
What was your, I've seen all the shows that y'all did and the movies and stuff, but of course what they say is one thing, but you personally, what was your best or favorite memory or experience of the show, in the show and off the show with the cast?
Well, episode-wise, I'm very partial to the first episode where Mom and Dad got married because of its authenticity. We truly were just getting to know each other and find out who was who. And I think it set the tone for everything that came after that, the type of humor it was, and kind of the morals, the communication, the resolution, how all of that works. So I like that as an episode. Both on and off the set, everything we did in Hawaii was fantastic. I love being there. That was great. It's one of my favorite places in the world. I go frequently now, always have. I still surf. So that was nice. Whenever we got out of the sound stage, that was great. With Grand Canyon and Kings Island was fun. I do remember one specific thing that happened while we were at the Grand Canyon, because as we were together when we filmed, but we didn't travel together unless we were working. Later, when we of course, when we were on tour. But one of the first times we did that was at the Grand Canyon, and we were sitting in the lodge above the canyon, where the tourists would come in and where people were getting their rooms and things like that, or just kind of hanging out. We happened to be there near the fireplace, and a group of people came in and went, "Oh my gosh, look at that! That's Cindy Brady right there." And that's Jan. And that's Carol Brady. And there's Greg. And there's Peter. Oh my gosh, they really are a family.
Y'all are. I can tell you this, last time I went to Hawaii, I was kind of hoping with our rental car we would run into a little tiki guy, but yeah, we didn't get so lucky.
Now you have to come down to my little station here, downstairs, to see that.
Oh yeah, I saw him, and I hope he's going to be in our photo op at 3 o'clock.
I'm bringing him to the photo op.
Awesome. Thanks, Barry.
All right. See you there.
Thank you. Also, just to keep y'all guys a reminder, his next photo op is, I believe, at 3:50. Okay. So if you haven't got your photo op, best time to go ahead and do it right away.
I take your word for it. 3:50.
Yes. Go ahead, buddy.
Hi, very long time fan. In the 50 years that the Brady Bunch has been on the air, you've been known as America's Big Brother, so to speak. Do you think that being typecast as America's Big Brother kind of affected you later on in your career as the series ended, that you wanted to maybe go into movies instead of TV and into more dramatic roles? Did you think that had an effect on it?
Yes, is the short answer. But if I look at the body of my career, in what way did it affect it? I'm sure that there are roles that I didn't get because of that association, kind of clean living, all-American, Big Brother. And I think there's an equal number of shows that I got just because of that. My career from the Brady Bunch, I went to New York and I auditioned for the title role of Pippin for Bob Fosse, and he's a choreographer. And I got that role, and that started me on a career of musical theater. So I've had a lot of experience on Broadway, off-Broadway, Broadway national tours, many of them. I continue to work in television. I've recorded CDs. I've taken my act into Las Vegas and toured it, and I just finished a successful 6-year run in Branson, Missouri, where I live. I've been a DJ, a best-selling author, a producer. So in virtually every aspect of of show business, I've had some success. All of the things that I've wanted to do. And in fact, when people now ask me what is left for me to do, my answer is more. I feel very, very fortunate. I'm currently the ambassador for the television network MeTV, which shows all the classic television shows. I just recorded their theme song and the video to go with it. That'll be on like 5 days ago. And that'll be on in July and running for years and years to come. There have been so many things that, and very diversified. So all in all, when I think of my association with the Brady Bunch, has been way, way the positive.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, guys. Want to kind of piggyback on, favorite episodes that she was talking about earlier. Was something about, what about those scenes that, like, say, your younger brother was trying to sing and his voice started going away? Was that something?
Well, we did that because Chris and I can't sing. He's virtually tone deaf. He didn't like it. And so we made it up that his voice was changing, and I wrote a song to accommodate it. So there's an element of truth in these episodes. He sings so far off key that I tease him about this all the time. That we were in Chicago at the Chicago Cubs game, and they asked me to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," right? Take me out to the ball, and he was so far he threw me off.
Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm really nervous. I'm a huge, huge fan.
Thanks.
We actually drove over 4 hours to get here.
Wow.
And I did speed, so. But I brought my own tiki doll. I hope that you sign it later. I guess my question is, first of all, thank you so much for being here because I wouldn't have met you otherwise.
Never know. I'm on the road a lot, but which is kind of cool that I've got to make it here because almost every place I go I've been to several times. So coming here and first while I'm like, oh wow, look at that. There's a Landry's in the Bay.
I'm very happy you're here.
Thank you.
Is there any new music we can look forward to?
Barry Williams Official is the website. Barry Williams Official. It's official because apparently there are more than one Barry Williams, and some of them are into things that I don't want to be associated with. And one of them lives in Atlanta. And he's into like films, dark ones. Anyway, BarryWilliamsOfficial.com, and pretty much everything that I'm doing and scheduling and involved with is on that, including my band that I travel with now is called Barry Williams and the Traveleers. And the reason that it's a trio. I have a lead guitar player, I play acoustic, and my wife is a singer. She plays percussion. She's also a professional hula dancer, which is neat, especially when she teaches the men how to interpret songs through their hands. Anyway, the Traveleers, and so there's a schedule, and that's what I do musically today.
Yes, I wanted to ask about the Hawaiian episode, about meeting Vincent Price. What was your impression of it?
First, a huge fan of Vincent Price's. And I only knew Vincent Price. Do we know who he's talking about? In the caves with the boys, and he tied us up, and Mr. Whitehead, legendary actor, mostly from horror films. And so I didn't know to be scared or not. He's the kindest, most gentle man you can imagine. And one of the most professional, at that age, 17 years old, 18, very impressionable. And so I watched Mr. Price. We filmed some of that in Hawaii and most of it here back in Hollywood. And he was the first person on the set. He was the last to leave. He was always prepared, knew his lines, always creative and adding things to it and bringing things that you never would have seen just by reading the words on the page that he would bring to it to bring life into it. So he was invited also to come back as a guest star on a variety show a couple of times when we did that in 1977, and always a bit larger than life and just and a very good cook. A lot of people don't know, but yeah. And our collector.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. We do have a few more minutes, so we'll take a few more questions, okay, guys? So just a few more minutes. You want to get your question out, go ahead and do that. Don't forget, he will be downstairs still signing some autographs, and the photo up's at 3:50. So just keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, we have fun things coming up. I'm hanging out. I've got a little booth down here and with photos if you want to have them signed, or we can take selfies so you can post them all over and that kind of thing. I have the tiki if you want to hang on to that and for a photo, or if you have a question that you didn't have a chance to get answered, or you think of that, because that always happens, right? Oh, should have asked him.
Yes, sir. Again, thanks for being here. Some of the fun kind of episodes are, with Tiger and the way he interacts with you guys. How did you, how was working and acting with an animal, and do you have any pets of your own?
Well, animals are always challenging to work with. It depends entirely on how trained they are, and largely how well trained they are has everything to do with how hungry they are. Tiger only appeared, I think, in 4 episodes, so we didn't really work with him very long. Many of the scenes that were done in the original show when he chased the cat, the actors weren't involved with. We had different animals on the sets. For instance, the tiger was a lot easier to work with than Myron the mouse, because Myron the mouse just wouldn't take direction at all. And then we had the tarantula for Peter, which was a real tarantula or wolf spider. And Chris Knight, Peter he was a great sport about that. He let it walk on him. And I had tarantulas as pets, so I was comfortable around them. And I was very concerned because I had to knock it off of him. I was very concerned I was going to hurt him. But I talked to the wrangler, because they have an animal wrangler for whatever you have. They have a mouse wrangler or a tarantula wrangler. And the wranglers, we talked about how I could, brush it off of him without it hurting him. And if you see that, you'll see that I was able to come under and lift him and drop, and then he landed on the ground and he was fine. And so, animals are tough. They're almost as hard to work with as 6 kids. Just ask Robert Reed.
So with coming closer to the end, you are Greg Brady, you are Barry Williams. While, working, did anything come off
the
of...
real Greg Brady.
Huh?
The real Greg Brady.
The real one.
You probably don't know this. I had a rap song. Okay, Eminem, anybody? The real Slim Shady? Bell-bottoms, polyester, headbands, orange hair. Was it perm? Was it real? Hey, who the heck cares? Here's the story of a guy named me, Greg Brady, Barry Williams. Don't you know we were the real That 70s Show? And oh, Alice, oh, prepared Sam's meat for free. You know what I mean. It's the return of Johnny Bravo. Wait, he didn't just say what I think he did he? And Mike Brady said nothing. Like Tiger, he's dead. Cindy had a lisp. Greg Brady, I'm sick of him. Looking at him walking around wearing his tiki gods, surfing and wiping out. Yeah, but he's so cute, though. It was cool for a while being a teenage star, but now that Brady name can only go so far. I'm doing stuff that's new, but I'm Greg Brady, too. Football into Marcia's nose, sing the chorus, and it goes, I'm Greg Brady. Yes, I'm the real Brady. All the other Greg Bradys are not syndicated. So if you ain't Greg Brady, please shut up. Please shut up. Please shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Williams.
Thank you all for coming. Being here. Thank you now. All right. See you downstairs. Enjoy the weekend. Corpus Christi Comic-Con. Bye.
Hey, got a permit for those guns?
I've got your permit right here.
Permit denied.
Dominoes falling right in the street. Baby, this time there's no retreat, there's no surrender. A devil is rising, a shadow from the past, feeding the flames with fire on the edge of fury. some action. If we wanna take our love away from here, we need a living passion to believe in, burning hearts and a brand new feeling. Action. If we're gonna make it like a true survivor. Crawling from the ashes, the feelings rise again. Fighting for life, for good, for all that we believe in. God, we need some action. If we're gonna make it like a true survivor, we need some action. If we wanna take our love away from here, we need a living passion to believe in, burning hearts and a brand new feeling. Action. If we're gonna make it like a true survivor, the hero stands alone when all is said and done. The enemies are falling one by one. Out of time, running in and out of time. Hear the ticking of the countdown clocks tonight. God, we need some action. If we're gonna make it like a true survivor, we need some action. If we wanna take our love away from here, we need a living passion to believe in, burning hearts and a brand new feeling. Action. If we're gonna make it like a true survivor, true survivor.
Step 13. Enjoy popular music.
Top the charts again. It's Everything is Awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love this song.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when we're part of the team. Everything is awesome when we're living our dream.
Always use a turn signal. Park between the lines. Yes. Drop off dry cleaning before noon. Read the headlines. Don't forget to smile. Always root for the local sports team.
Go sports team!
Always return a compliment. Hey, you look nice.
So do you.
Drink overpriced coffee.
There you go. That's $37.
Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Did you see Where Are My Pants last night?
Classic episode.
Everything is awesome.
Instructions coming in from Central. Okay, it says here to take everything weird and blow it up. All right, Silverhead. Let's make it look exactly like it does in the instructions. Hey, buddy, I need a 1x2 keyhole.
No problem, Michael.
2x2 macaroni over
2x2 macaroni flying in. Here's one, Mel.
Cheese floats, come on, everybody.
Roger that, Roger.
Coming at you.
Can I get a couple LARPs over here?
Thanks, Gail.
Hey, guys, watch me drill this down.
Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome.
Everyone's talking. Life is good 'cause everything's awesome.
Man, I feel so good right now. I could sing this song for hours.
Everything is awesome.
When you're part of a team. Woo!
I'm going to...
smile. I lift my head, blinded by the sky. Feel my way in front, following the sound. It moves away so fast, fall down to the ground. I know there's more to come. Jump back to my
Skeletor saved at Money's supermarket. And now, he feels epic!
Baby, look at me and tell me what you see. I can catch the moon in my hand. Don't you know who I am? Remember my name. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly. I feel it coming together. Baby, remember my name.
By the power of Grayskull! Skeletor, you're so Money supermarket.
Arthur, does it help to have someone to talk to?
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face. She told me I had a purpose to bring laughter and joy to the world. Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by.
What?
If you smile to your fear and sorrow, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll find that life is still worthwhile.
What's so funny?
Just
freak?
Gotham's lost its way. What kind of coward would do something that cold-blooded? Someone who hides behind a mask.
I used to think that My life was a tragedy. But now I realize it's a comedy.
You just smile.
Mr. Crusher, set course for Starbase A. Gene, you're adorable. B, you're so beautiful. C, you're a cutie full of charm. D, you're a darling, and E, you're exciting, and F, you're a feather in my arms. G, you look good to me. H, you're so heavenly. I, you're the one I idolize. J, we're like Jack and Jill.
Captain Picard asked me where you were. I don't like making excuses for you.
Excuses? Come on, Mom, it wasn't an official function.
Listen, young man. You have responsibilities, and I want you to live up to them.
Don't you think you're overreacting a little?
Don't talk back to me.
Okay, I won't.
Where do you think you're going?
Away from you.
And then I just slapped him. Really hard. I slapped Wesley.
Do you know why you did it?
I've never hit my son in his life.
Beverly, this is important. What were you thinking when you hit Wes?
I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just angry.
And Wes didn't provoke you in any way? It wasn't anything he said or anything he did?
No, that's just it. It was a sudden burst of anger. I still can't believe I did it.
I don't know why you did it either. But I can tell you that I've heard the same kind of story from 10 different people over the last 2 days.
Those are Klingon pain sticks. I once saw one of them used against a 2-ton rectine monopod. Poor creature jumped 5 meters at the slightest touch. Finally died from excessive cephalic pressures.
You mean?
That's right. The animal's head exploded like...
I think that's enough, Chief O'Brien.
Thinking about what you can't control only wastes energy.
Today, I am a warrior. I must show you my heart. I travel the river of blood.
You don't like me very much, do you?
Is it required, sir?
I don't care what you look like. You are no Klingon!
Perhaps not.
Sentiment, Lieutenant Worf. Efficiency, Commander.
Whiskey! It has no bite.
Salute.
You dare not destroy us. We are on a crucial mission for the Klingon High Command.
Has the tongue dropped its shields?
No, sir.
Very well. Fire all phasers. The battle is mine. I crave only the blood of the enemy.
You're outmanned, you're outgunned, you're out-equipped. What else have you got?
Guile.
Join me.
The honor is to serve. Your ambushes would be more successful if you bathed more often. The bile of the vanquished flows over my hands.
A cook is only as good as his ingredients.
Delicious.
Where am I?
You're on board the Starship Enterprise.
Riker has no honor. He tricked me!
Bring him in, Mr. O'Brien. Just stay where you are.
More security, transporter room 4. More security. More security.
Gates McFadden and Michael Dorn, everyone. I think we've all been very excited for this panel to come up. I'm sure we've got a bunch of Star Trek Next Generation fans out here, right? Yeah. They have asked, please no recordings, if you would. Please keep that in mind, no recordings. So I know I have a few questions, but I'm sure the audience has a ton of questions as well. And you've done panels over the years, so some of this is going to be familiar territory. I imagine a lot of it is going to be. But I would like to start with, you know, coming to Corpus Christi. Is this your first time coming to our fair city? And we can start
Yes,
with
it is.
ladies first.
First time.
All right, and I guess, how did it go for you? You flew in, and just what was your experience?
Well, first of all, I had never flown. You know, I was in a smaller plane, so it was kind of cool to see all of the area. And I was like, okay, I'm looking down, having not researched this. I kept thinking, well, it's on the ocean, but I'm like, okay, there's going to be little beach communities, but I'm not seeing ocean. We're just flying from Dallas. And I see like one house, and then there's all this land around a house. And I'm like, well, what are they growing? What is it? And I didn't know, you know, I couldn't figure it out. And I'd never seen anything so flat. It's amazing. And I'm like, wow, this is what I've heard about, you know? And then I'll see a different color, and I'm like, but wait a minute.